Hi, I'm Dakia Anderson, and you're watching Two Mics Up.
Double O seven.
What's up, everybody? It's your man Dame DNYDC. Man, we back fresh Monday night, all new conversation. And today's conversation, man, I'm telling you, really excited, so dope. When we repping the DMV, we like to do that. And today's guest, fresh out of Baltimore, making her way to LA, and you've seen her really start to expand, if you will. Not even expand, man. She's blowing the hell up. Like for real, let's just keep it a buck. She's really doing her thing. And if you're not familiar, you may not be totally familiar, but you're gonna be familiar today because you've seen her, and some of her credits include like Lethal Weapon, ABC's Grey Anatomy, The Big Bang Theory, and she's been rocking, and this is where, like this is really where the come up is, on Netflix, Tyler Perry's, Beauty in Black. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, today's stunning and amazing, guest that's joining us on the other mic, Miss Dakia Anderson. Dakia, what's good?
Hey, hey, hey. Nice to
Hey,
meet you for having me, Damon.
oh, look, it's our pleasure, and really an honor. Like I said, it's really big when we have an opportunity to really sit down and talk to our own homegrown talent that's coming out of the DMV. That's right, yo. Put them thumbs up, put them
You
hands
know
up.
it, you know
It's nothing like it. The kid, this
it.
kind of like we got to start at the beginning. You know, give us a little bit about who you are. Rep the Baltimore, Maryland area, and what has it been like for you? Now that you making some headway in the industry.
Yes, I'm so grateful. So I'm from Baltimore, grew up in Baltimore City, like Hamilton area. So that's like Northern Parkway
Okay.
near Morton's Housing. So you know it all. Um, kind of, grew up trying to find my placement, finally decided, okay, acting is something that I wanted to pursue and wanted to do, figured it out. Went to school for forensic psychology, not exactly
Okay.
performance, but now I've segued
Okay.
into acting and it's been working out. I'm grateful.
Listen. I cannot even begin to say just how grateful we are just for you. Forensics. I mean, I was a criminal justice major too, so
Yeah,
it's a lot of work. And there's a lot of things. And two, I took the circuitous route, I guess, if you will, ending up in the government in some kind of way, some kind of how, with the forensics and political science, and you too, not necessarily taking that path, but putting in that work. Because I mean, to become, you know, uh, to hone your craft, because I think you're already talented is one thing, but to hone your craft, what what has that been like for you? Like, can you kind of talk about, some of the things that you had to kind of work? I see you looking. There's been a few things that you've had to kind of work your way through to kind of get in the door and really shine like you are shining now.
absolutely, Damon. So I feel like, you show up in LA, you're bright eyed, bushy tailed, and you feel like if I do A, B, and C, everything's just going to open up. But there's
Uh-huh.
still so much more that me personally, I had to learn about myself. And I think until I became like my most authentic self and just believed in me and not looked for validation from outside is when doors started to open for me and they're continuing to open. So when younger people or anybody asking me for like advice for getting into acting, I always, always, always like recommend learning and becoming your most authentic self because people don't understand how that just expands everything and opens so many doors.
I mean, that's just huge. 'Cause talking about being authentic, I think so many times we get caught up in the imposter syndrome or the what's everybody else is doing. And I love that you say that because that's really even doing, this platform. First of all, this platform wasn't my idea, it's my wife's. But I
I love
wanted to come here, real talk, because at first of all, I thought she was crazy when she even brought up the idea. I'm like, "Who, me?" But it's what you say, being as authentic as you can be, because I honestly like, and we talk behind scenes. I'm from New York, so a lot of us from New York, we think we're funny anyway, and we naturally have this way about ourselves. And I could have came out and really did a lot of what everybody else was doing, and not to say I don't think I would be successful, but I think I would. But
Mhm.
I've also grown and matured too, like you said, finding out and really realizing who I am. This is the person that I am today. And
Yes,
wanting to educate people and give people resources and be a giver, that's a very hard thing to do in today's society, in today's culture. So I'm
mhm.
glad that that we have someone like yourself just sharing that, because I think we need to hear that sometime. It's okay
Absolutely.
to be the Kia. It's okay
Absolutely.
to be right. So
And
kudos.
post growing up, sometimes it's hard to kind of find your footing and be yourself. Like it's hard because you want to fit in with this group and it's
Right,
tough. So finally,
right.
like in adulthood, I'm like, you know what? I'm settling into who I am and I love it. I
I
love it
love
so
it.
much. So when people get to that space, it's so beautiful to watch, like
It
congratulations
really
to
is.
you. So
And,
yeah.
and that's really what it is. Congrats, because I think, not even I think, I know, just in hearing you say that, that's what, I don't know, maybe for my wife and I, that's what really, when we see you on screen, it resonates because it
Oh,
does come through authentic.
thank
And that's really, those are the stars, I think, as a fan, that we should be really watching, the ones that resonate or speak to you. And I
you.
say
Yes.
that because you're so talented in the sense that, I don't know how hard it is, to go from, comedies like, being in the Big Bang Theory. And then, we also seen you on Grey's Anatomy, in a dramatic role. And then
Yes.
we see you, on Tyler Perry's, this new series, if you will, really bringing it a whole nother level. Like, talk, how challenging can it be, or is it, to swing sometimes, from one to the other, from drama to comedy? And I know sometimes those things might overlap, where you might be appearing on one and the other, and you have to swing between these two. How challenging is that?
Honestly, I think what I've learned is when it comes to drama, you find the comedy in doing so. And
Mm.
so maybe it's not so challenging to switch over because in a lot of the independent films that I've done, like I've done some horror ones, I have a couple more horror that are coming out, some that are like hardcore drama, but every now and again they insert some comedy, some dialogue that's like comedic in there and I think it's finding the comedy in the drama that makes it easy to
Mm.
switch over in the moment, if that makes sense.
No,
Like
yes.
Kevin Hart, laugh at your pain, that type of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like, okay, and maybe I'm a little cuckoo, but it works out.
That could look. Sometimes being cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs is cool. Ain't
So
nothing
you
wrong. Ain't
tell
nothing wrong with it.
absolutely,
Ain't
yes.
nothing wrong. You know, I wanted to take a second just to dive in, because Beauty and Black, Tyler Perry, man. So I watched part, and for those of you who don't know, it's kind of like a two-part thing going on right now. First part already came out, I believe it was October, November, and you're
Yes.
actually back. I think we're taping this and recording this here in March, and I believe that it just came out uh
Yep. Sure did.
last week. So listen here, we right on time, y'all. But I
Right on.
want to talk about that. That's right, we right on time. But I want to talk about, like, what has that experience been like? Because you hear so much about the great things that Tyler Perry is doing, for so many of us and our community. What has the experience been like, for you, Kadia? Just one, getting a phone call, that you've actually been cast, and then to actually hit the set and work with so many greats.
It was really exciting to audition and get seen and get selected and to
Mm.
go there and to work. But what was most surprising to me is how kind and like generous Tyler Perry is. He's just such a nice man. Like you just don't know what to expect, right? But he directed all of my scenes. So we were one on one. I have a phone scene
Oh
in
wow.
part two, and he's on the phone with me. So it's me reading with him, but just working with him. It's just like, it was almost like magical in a sense. I mean, you don't think of it like that, but maybe because he's this like powerful man with like, so much going on.
Mm.
The fact that he took time and sat there and like directed my scenes and we were right there face to
Wow.
face. It just felt really good. And then after the
Wow.
scenes, I just gotta throw this in. He followed, well, we were kind of walking past each other and he was like, really good. You did really, really good. Very good. And I was like, okay, okay. Yeah, it was an exciting moment. It was a good time.
That's really awesome, because a lot of times we as fans don't get to see that. And you too, I'm pretty sure sometimes you may still pinch yourself, or say to yourself, like, wow, I was just with working with Tyler Perry, or I was working with
Yes.
this person. Like, as you've progressed, like, now coming back for, I guess, if you will, and I don't know, tell us, what was this all shot at once, or was this shot
It was over
separately?
the course of like a month.
Okay. So this in that experience thing, because we've had, a peep in, your experience with Tyler Perry, but what with your co-stars and other cast members that you work with to bring this to light? Like, what was any dynamics, any fun stories, or anything that you can share?
It was kind of funny because Kimmy, who plays my daughter, we before we went over to set the shoot, we were like, I guess we all just like best friends and BFFs because we all look similar in age. But then I was like, no, it's cool. There's a lot of like young moms that like, pop up and they, end up looking like their kids, and it kind of
Yeah.
matches. So yeah, but everybody was super sweet, super nice, super kind, and on top of their stuff. Like everybody took this as an opportunity and everyone
Mm.
worked hard. So that was great.
Look, like I said, I watched the first part. My wife. I'm a daddy's girl. Sometimes my daughter will call me, Dad, you got to watch this. So,
Yes.
my wife and her. So I watched it. But when I want to even go a little further, because your role as Leslie, playing Leslie, in Beauty and Black, like I have to ask this from now, just getting to meet you and just really having some of your aura, your experience.
Yeah.
Like, how did you bring her to life? Right. And are there aspects of Kadia that are actually resonating in Leslie's personality that's true to life?
Wow, I shared a little bit of the cuckoo. It's not an outward thing, but it's easy to go
Right.
there. So I have other roles also where I get to play a little off, and that for me
Mhm.
is just so much fun. I don't know why it's so easy to go to, but also being from Baltimore and knowing families like that and mothers that have
Mm,
treated their daughters like that and hearing stories like that. So for me, it was kind of like, okay, let me just tap into this.
mm,
Got it.
yeah.
Sadly, it was kind of easy to get to. And but I had fun with her. So that was a good
No,
thing.
and that's good. You get to expand and stretch yourself. And like you say, unfortunately, I think so many of us, and this not in, I don't want to say this about in the Black community. Look, in our communities at large, I don't care what color you are, we all have some challenges in our family. We're going to talk about that because you are very heavy into mental health, and
Yes.
you're very big. And I do want to talk because that's a very serious issue, and I think we need to discuss it because we don't talk about it enough. But
Mhm.
before we do that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and step away and take a pause for the calls. I want to shout out our sponsors, two mics up, that allow us to sit down every week with lovely people like the Kia and others. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
94 Media House specializes in transformative digital design that elevates your brand to new heights. Whether you need stunning graphic design, impactful branding, or a captivating web presence, our team is here to bring your vision to life. Join the ranks of successful businesses that trust 94 Media House for their digital design needs. Let's make your brand unforgettable. Contact us today.
Experience unforgettable memories with Riddick Entertainment and Events, the premier event planners in Northern Virginia. We specialize in crafting extraordinary weddings and events tailored to your vision. Led by the husband and wife team of Saeed and Michelle Riddick, we ensure your special day is stress-free and memorable. Don't leave your memories to chance. Let Riddick Entertainment help you create lasting moments. Contact us today to start planning your unforgettable event.
Unleash flavor with Tico Rico hot sauce, made from fresh, homegrown peppers for a vibrant taste. Enjoy the perfect blend of heat and zest with our habanero and refreshing serrano lime sauces. Ideal for tacos, seafood, or salads, Tico Rico enhances any dish. Join the Tico Rico family today and elevate your meals with our award-winning sauces. Visit us online to grab your starter kit and discover the magic of Tico Rico.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back fresh out the break with the lovely Beauty and Black actress Kadia Anderson. And we've been really chopping it up in the first half, y'all. Just really getting to know Kadia and who she is and about her work in Beauty and Black. But this is the part that I love so much to bring to our audience and to viewers. Is some of the things that you don't really see, the passion that our celebrities are really behind. And we talked about mental health coming out of the before going into the break, Kadia, and mental health awareness in the Black community is broad. Sometimes it can be a broad thing, but from listening to you, how has that influenced maybe your career choices from maybe how you've been impacted?
For me, mental health has been a big component in my life overall. And I feel like as an actor, as an artist, any type, it's all entailed, you know? So for me, mental health is so important. And so I like to work out. That helps me keep my sanity and keep my brain in order. But I feel like without being aware of my mental health, so many things are just scattered and all over the place. So it's
Mm,
important to just find balance. And I think that's a part of the authenticity as well. Just
yes.
healing yourself and doing that inner work. So you're not looking left and right and having envy and feeling less than or feeling like you need that external validation.
Mm. You know, I love how you just said that because the challenges um, already in the world, one being a woman,
Mhm.
and two being a woman of color,
Mhm.
it could probably really wear you down on any given day. And to be able to have these resources and ways to get rid of your stress and ease your stress. But who else? Because I know your family is probably very deep uh rooted in your support system, but who pours into your cup, Dakia, when you are at your points of look? And I still find sometimes we all get to a breaking point or a point where it's just like, ah, God, like, so who's pouring into you when you are at your lowest points?
So, one of my mental health practices, if you may, I talk to my parents every day.
Mm, love that.
And to me, that's like pouring into my cup. And sometimes it's overflowing. And I'm so grateful to have that relationship with them. But talking to my parents every day, my sister, who's older than me, is like my number one fan. So when I
Mhm.
don't see it, my parents see it. My sister sees it. So having family that are supportive is very important to me.
No, I love that. I think it is. We have so many times where we have this is our best friend.
Yes.
So many people live on it, and just to hear you say that, it just made me in my head stand up because I think of my wife and my daughter
Yes.
every day. Every
Yes.
day. I don't care. Sometimes it could be 10 times a day.
Yep.
And I know, dad, I know looks daddy's girl, but then I
Same.
know she right, but I know when she gets in her mood though, your dad, she'll just hit me with a text, your dad. I
Exactly.
already know what that means. She
Right.
ain't
Just
heard
tell me
from me.
something.
Right there, right. She ain't heard from me. Something. This ain't
Yes.
something to me. So, but I love the fact that that relationship that she has with her mom means the world to me.
Mhm.
And I look at it now because I used to tell her when she was young. I said, there's gonna come a time you're always gonna be my girl, but you're not gonna be my girl in that way."
Right.
She used to come to me with everything. I'm like, "Oh, you want to go talk to my dad? Come on, mom. Mom."
Uh-huh,
Now it's
uh-huh.
the other way around. I'm like, "Yo, what y'all talking about?"
Right, right.
So
I love that,
I
yes.
love that dynamic that you're sharing. I mean, we're getting some
Yes,
great gems today, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's just so real. And you
absolutely,
know,
always.
always. And with that too, though, it makes me think, Kadir. So if we look at the entertainment industry just over the last couple of years, going through the pandemic and everything, like that, there's been a lot of changes or shifts in the industry. And one of those has really become like, streaming services, which, thankfully I am now part of with the Infusion TV and Mogul TV. But I'm really want to center on the fact that we're also in a stage where we have a president who was voted on that has really impacted, how diversity was being looked in other industries. So now I wonder, what does that look like for the entertainment industry, and have these changes already started a trickle down effect, if you will, to you as an actor and an entertainer?
Honestly, Damon, we just have our fingers crossed that it
Mm,
doesn't affect us.
mm,
Diversity is still important in Hollywood,
yes.
but we
Yeah.
also had a strike here. And so a
Yeah.
lot of things have kind of slowed down due to the strike. So Tyler Perry, we're super grateful for him and any
Yes.
opportunities that show up for us because although diversity is important, we are dealing with the president and we're
Yes.
dealing with, you know, results of the strikes. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
we're just here. We're just here,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
living in the mindset of abundance and being open to receive.
Yeah, it's got to be tough because I've and this is a question that I ask more now, probably more so than when there was a pandemic or when AI first started, because
Mhm.
then you have that side of the conversation, which is the AI side, and I never really thought about it until now that we've kind of everyone has shifted really into that field. The impact on someone like yourself as an artist, as a creator, like I don't want to say I don't want to ask you, are you for it or are you not, but like where do you find AI? Does it have a place? Can it be a part of it, or is this just a fear that it can just erase? It can mimic talent and erase the human aspect of it.
I think AI is good for what it's good for, but I don't think AI can ever replace people or
Okay,
talent. I don't think AI can replace
you're right.
talent.
Okay.
I think AI can show up and they can use, what is it, CGI and fill them in and do that stuff, but I don't think it can ever replace talent. However, if like the industry chooses to move television into like a different, like viewing it differently, and we just start to see
Hmm.
AI and like, I don't know if you saw that commercial. They did like an AI pizza commercial and it was like really popular, but it looks very odd. Like when they're biting
Yeah.
the pizza, like half of their jaws like coming off. It's very odd. So
Yeah.
like if the industry
Yeah.
moved into that like way of viewing TV or media,
Yeah.
maybe, but it's not even like enticing. Like nobody wants to see that. Like
Yeah.
people want realism. So I'm not really worried about it.
I'm with you because there are some commercials even now that I see, or sometimes you see ads again on your phone or whatever that
Right.
I have to look at, and I was like, that's not real.
Exactly.
That's so. One is it's freaky, right?
Yep.
Because your brain is trying to tell you something, but like as you're receiving this, you're like, hold on, wait a minute. And
Right.
so it's very freaky. It's very unnatural. And then too, even another aspect of it, and forgive me, you're a beautiful woman, but then when you see some of this CGI and some of it, it's too beautiful. If that
They're
makes any
perfect.
sense.
They're
Yeah,
perfect,
right.
exactly. I'm like, "Oh, okay. Okay." But yeah,
But
it
but it's
doesn't look
scary.
real.
It's
Mhm.
scary, and then we have so many people in our society that are trying to mimic that,
Yes.
which is very scary. And it ties back into just being authentic in
Exactly.
yourself. And I'm just throwing this out here, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're catching these nuggets. Just it's okay to be you. Don't be
It's
scared.
very
And
okay to be you.
it is. And if you were to look back, Dakia, from the time that you started to where you are now, what advice would you, curiously enough, give yourself to help maybe make I don't want to say you had a terrible journey, but to kind of arm yourself with knowledge so that you wouldn't maybe have to go through some of the stumbling blocks that you went through when you first started?
Sure. So, I'll take it back to the authenticity. So, I'll add to it. Growing up, I think I mentioned it, like, I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. So, like, coming here and trying to, just kind of push myself out there and get into an industry I was kind of clueless about when I first touched down here, I had a little bit of social anxiety and
Mm,
I caught on to it and I realized where it came from. And it came from not fitting in, not really finding my
mm,
placement or my footing. And so once I realized that, I did the work and I figured out where that came from in childhood, like what that trauma was. And so I think it's important for anyone at any stage in life to just take a minute of stillness and
mm,
figure out what your traumas are and work on healing those. Because once you work on healing those traumas and you release that PTSD and you realize
mm,
you can show up as yourself and be received
mm.
and loved, and even if you're not, you're still good enough to be there.
That's
But I
right.
feel like that opens so many doors as well.
Mm.
And yeah, so
Whew,
going back to being authentic.
man, yeah, yeah. It took me you this and what you said took me back to my childhood and
Yeah.
uh just so many. Whew, boy, you just unpacked the whole box. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm in a whole moment because it is so true. You get
Yes.
to a certain point in your life, I had to face, um, guess we want to say my own demons, the things
Yes.
that I carried into my adulthood,
Hmm.
into my manhood, into my marriage early on that prevented me really from being the best version of Damon that Damon could be. So
Yes.
it is so true. Face those demons, unpack those demons. And
Yeah.
I know I come from a little bit of a different era where, boy, what's wrong with you? And now at
Mm-hmm.
least I come, and we never addressed it
Right.
per se. But I am proud that we're in a time, and it's okay if you need help. It
Yes,
is okay.
absolutely.
And it is
Absolutely.
okay for you to go out and get that help. Now, I will
Absolutely.
say that now try to find the right one, because sometimes the first one is not always the right one. It's not always the
Right.
best one.
Right.
Just like used car. Go ahead and try them all out until you find the
Try
one
'em
that
all. That's right. That's
best
right,
suits you.
David.
So I just love that you shared that, and I just really hope anybody watching this or listening to this, whether it be at the time of the airing or whatever time it may be, know that you are worthy and know that you're loved. And if you need help, go get help. And I want to thank the Kia for being that person today, because I don't know why I just feel like today this was supposed to be this conversation.
Absolutely.
Stars align, and we're here. But
Mhm.
before we go, because time flies, Takia, we are on the back end of this conversation. I want to give a moment to ask you what's next. What you got next on the plate, sis?
All right, right on. So next I have a movie coming out. I have a couple movies coming out on BET. One is called Love is Illusion. One
Okay.
is called GPS, but I think they may change the name. That's the standing name right now. But yeah, and I'm the lead in both of those movies. I have another feature film that I'll be shooting next month for about 3 weeks out of state. Yeah, I'm out here. I'm just getting it, doing things. I have projects right now on BT, All Black, Tubi. Yeah, so here I am.
Listen, and here she is today, y'all. Two mics up, rocking with the Kia Anderson. Make sure you go out and you support this sister. Go out and support and enjoy her work. And go ahead and follow her. And speaking of follow, Takia, where can our audience go out and find and follow you to support and get behind you and your work?
Sure thing. Thanks, Damon. So at Dakia Anderson, that's DKIA, it's right there, ANDERSON. And then on TikTok, I do workout videos. It's just good for me, just keeps me going. And it's at DKIA and the number one. It's all
Okay,
workout
well,
videos. I don't put anything entertainment on there.
listen, okay. Well, we're gonna have to come back and just talk about the workout part. Because
Yes.
we was this on the celebrity side, but look, we're gonna reach
Hey,
out, we're
I'm
gonna
here
bring
for
you
it.
back just for that, because that is needed as well. We will
That's
make sure
part of
we
the
put
mental
that.
health, Damon. Yes.
See, look, we about to do just a whole mental health with the Kia Anderson
I'm
joint.
here for it. I would love to.
I will make sure my wife reaches out to you, because I would love to have you come back. You are an amazing, woman. Thank you so much for being who you are and just opening up yourself to us today. I really appreciate you.
Thanks for seeing me, Damon. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, it's always an honor and a pleasure, Takia. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Another episode of Two Mics Up. I'm your humble host, Damon Cunningham, aka Dame D NYDC. Look, you can follow Two Mics Up. Go ahead and get behind us. Check us out. You can hit us on social media. We are on IG, Facebook, X, YouTube. Two Mics Up. Hit us up. You can follow us online, www.twomicsup.com. Four-time award-winning talk show straight out of the DMV, bringing you real talk with the dopest guests, just like the Kia, each and every week. And like we do at the end of each and every segment, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with a couple of things. May you all stay safe, stay blessed. Mike's out. 007.